Hey guys, how's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. Whenever you tune in and see this, so this is going to be a general reading for both Pisces and for Aries for July 2023. So they are general readings meant for multiple people, so it's not an individual reading, but hopefully you will find something to take away from it. And meaning it can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, love, money. I feel like I said all of those. Yeah, all the things. Okay. And so they are also timeless readings. So that means for some people they may resonate for July 2023, or they may resonate a couple months in the past or even a couple months in the future. So always feel free to check out your other placements, what your sun, moon, and rising signs are as an example, so you can get a full kind of picture of what is going on for you, because depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate more with your sun sign or your moon sign or your rising ascendant sign. Okay. All right. And everybody is welcome, right? As we all have Pisces and Aries somewhere within our charts. And after this live is done, I will post the timestamps for each one for some people who are just interested in Pisces or who are just interested in Aries. Okay. And I've already taken a photo of all of your cards here underneath Pisces, so I will be posting that after the live is done as well. So if that's something that you're interested in after the live is done, all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there on how to see that photo if you feel guided. All right. So Pisces, let's go ahead and do a little sound bow here to ground myself and for you guys. Take a couple deep breaths and just reconnect with our body and all that good stuff. And then we'll get started. All right, so this is going to be for Pisces. All right, here we go for Pisces. All right. Pisces. Let's see what we have here for you coming up. All right, so we're going to start with your four main cards here on the top, and then we'll go to the other cards where Spirit wants me to talk about those individual cards. All right, so let's go ahead and call out your cards first. All right, so you do have the Justice card in the reverse position. You have the King of Cups in the right side up position. You have the Magician in the right side up position, and you have the Seven of Spades, also known as Seven of Wands, in the right side up position. All right. And each one of these four cards may correspond to a week's time frame or so within July. So we're going to say that, and I'll say these dates again, they're not set in stone, right? But the first one can be from around July 1st through the 8th. Second one can be from around July 9th through the 16th. The third one can be from around July 17th through the 23rd. And the fourth one can be from anywhere from July 24th, maybe even into the first week of August, okay? But yeah, let's see what we have here for you, Pisces. All right, so right off the bat, let's see what other zodiac signs you have showing up here for you. So you have three major arcanas, okay? So you've got Libra energy, Pisces energy, not your official card, but it's there. And then you have a little bit of Gemini Sagittarius energy. So what does this mean? It means you could be dealing with a Libra, Pisces, Gemini Sagittarius, or you have a lot of that in your birth chart, or the other person does, or it could even be referencing Pisces season, Libra season, Gemini or Sagittarius season of this year, of last year, or even next year. So yeah, it kind of just depends, or it means nothing at all. But I like to mention it in the beginning before I forget. All right. And as far as your minor arcana goes, we want to see which one is the most dominant. So let's see. You've got 2 Wands cards. Oh wait. You have 4 major arcanas. I'm so sorry. Let's go back. You also have Scorpio energy here with the Death card. So you could also be dealing with Scorpio, or Scorpio means something as far as Scorpio time period, this year, last year, next year, or Scorpio somewhere in the chart. Okay. But now let's go back to where we were as far as the minor arcana. So what did I say? We have 2 wands. We've got a cups card, a pentacle card, and a swords cards. Okay, so it's obviously the wands, and then the rest are the majors. So what does that mean when we have an underlying theme of wands? It could be that there's something going on here with health, but it doesn't have to be anything big or scary. It could also be what gets us fired up and passionate within our physical body. That's another way to look at it. All right, so again, it's just kind of something to keep in the background, and we'll talk about it as it comes up here. But yeah, let's see. So Pisces, we start off your reading here with the Justice card in the reverse position. Now this can be energy from the recent past that we're still kind of picking up, whatever the recent past is for you. But with this Justice card in the reverse position, and we said this could be like that first week of July or so, it feels, well, let me say this first. Pisces, there is a little bit of this energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge, right? You only have 1 in your reading, and the rest are pretty progressive and seem to go more in a forward pace, forward momentum, okay? But this first kind of slowdown of energy is like a lot of stuff building around it from the past, because this is where Spirit wanted you to put the top and the bottom of both of your decks all underneath this one card, that Justice card in reverse position. So this could be that you or someone else, or your general environment situation, feels that something was not brought to justice or was not justified. Could be a truth is not being spoken or heard correctly, for a small few perhaps. But with the Justice card in the reverse position, it also could generally mean too that, right, there's something out of balance. There's a lack of balance here. Now, this could have something to do with a court case, but it doesn't have to be, because we have the Justice card here, but we also have the Judgment card underneath it. We'll talk about that in a second. If it doesn't have to deal with the court system, it could be something about, let's say, our rules within society, okay? And again, because it's in that reverse position, there's no balance or truth being felt here as of yet, right? But let's go underneath it and kind of see maybe why this is showing up here for you or for the other person. Multiple people, general environment situation. All right, so we have that Judgment card I was talking about, Pisces energy, which was on the top of this deck. And then you have the 7 of Wands in the right side up position, which was on the bottom of your deck here, okay? And again, these are past energies that made it possible for this, I want to say Libra card, it is Libra, but for the Justice card to be in that reverse position, okay? It looks like there could have been some type of decision in the past here, Pisces, where you or someone else had to decide whether you wanted to keep returning to something, where you or someone else had to decide whether you wanted to resurrect something, revive something, rework it, right? And what they call it, the judgment card in this deck, they call it the last judgment, right? And it's the spirit of primal fire. And typically, a lot of decks you'll see people rising up out of their graves, which you see here as well. You see someone blowing the horn, Archangel Michael, right? So it's supposed to be the last judgment day. So the Bible, right? If you're a good person, then you'll go into heaven or the afterlife. But it's a metaphor in the tarot as well to talk about, do I want to be born again in this body or another body, or do I want to just go to heaven, right? So it's a metaphor for, do I want to rework something, revise something, revisit something, all of those things we kind of already mentioned. And when you put it together with the Lord of Valor, the Seven of Wands in this deck as it's known, it's like there's still some defenses up, but somebody or something in the past also was asking the deeper questions, or asking their ancestors or spirit guides, guardian angels, what have you, for some type of assistance with the Seven of Wands here in the right side up position, because whatever this decision was, it weighed heavy, either for you or for someone else, okay? And I know that too, because anytime you have the Justice card and the Judgment card, it's again around some type of heavier energy about trying to find balance, trying to find truth in some way, but it's reversed, right? So one of these is a repeating card, but I'll wait to talk about it until we get to the end of the reading over here where the other one is, all right? But it is interesting when that happens. It's always a double meaning, or not double meaning, double emphasis on its meaning when it comes out in two different tarot decks, okay? But let's keep going here, Pisces, and see what else we have, okay? So now we have the Death card in the right side up position, Scorpio energy, and the Seven of Sacred Circles, Seven of Pentacles. And again, this is past energy that made it possible for this Justice card to show up in the reverse position. So in the past, in some way, there could have been some type of ending, new beginning, again, seeking wisdom around some type of change with the Death card here. And then with the Seven of Pentacles, or Seven of Sacred Circles in the reverse position, it's like somebody or some energy didn't do the planning that they needed to do with that Seven of Pentacles in the reverse position. Or it could be if there was an evaluation when we talk about court case, or even if it's not a court case, if it's just some kind of final ruling or judgment within society, or even without society rules. It could be that this evaluation didn't go well in the past, evaluation of self and or others, evaluation of that person, whether again it's you, Pisces, or someone else, etc., in general environment situation. So it's kind of like two sides of the same coin. It's like the cards on this side are very heavy, asking big important questions, trying to find wisdom around it. And then the ones over here, not that they're not heavy or important, but they're, so what do you say, more protective, but also like superficial. That's what I'm getting. Now, it could also be in the past here, Pisces, with this Wands card, the Seven of Wands in the right side up position. There could have been some small health issues on somebody's side, or if it's not health issues, it could be trying to manifest motivation to get healthy, or to remain healthy, or to get fired up and passionate about what we're excited about in general in life, like within the physical body. It also could be here, you've got two sevens, right? So Well, technically you've got 3 sevens. So 2 are in the past, another one's over here in the future. So 777, which would be like a lucky number of money and abundance and all that good stuff. But in the past here, Pisces, there definitely with that death card and the 7 of Pentacles reversed, could have been a feeling of lack of financial support or not feeling valued enough. Again, if there was some type of evaluation that didn't go right, or there wasn't enough planning for something that didn't obviously go the way that you wanted or the other person, general environment situation. But yeah, let's keep going because we're gonna like summarize it all when it comes together here. So then, of course, we go from that first week, July 1st to the 8th, perhaps, right? And now when we get to your second week here, Pisces, things start to really pick up with the King of Cups in the right side up position. So now there's for momentum and progress. And I also have to say, too, right, if we pause this reading, when is the best time for me to do something or accomplish something if it's within my control? It would be the second and the third week is looking like the best. The fourth week isn't bad either, but the second and the third are really good, okay? Now, so when we talk about, though, this second week in the King of Cups, in the right side up position, this is somebody of authority that has a certain level of confidence. They have a lot of support around them, right? We know it's true with politicians or people who have power that there's usually a big team of people behind them that help them reach that or stay that, right? Now this, because it's the King of Cups, he's in control of his emotions. His cup is right side up, and he's actually holding like a book or a journal over here. So he knows what makes him emotionally satisfied, fulfilled, and happy, and all of those things, okay? But again, in general, this is for momentum and progress, and just really nice energy here for you, Pisces, okay? Now, I did want to mention real quickly, what do we have in the astrology note, Pisces? Well, Neptune is already in reverse at this point, but you also have Pluto square the North Node on 3 different dates throughout July. Okay, so Pluto is very similar to Pisces energy. Can even say maybe it's one of your rulers, right? But it's when it's square, when Pluto's square the North Node is what are we supposed to do in this human body at this planet at this time? Your South Node is your karmic lessons from past lives. So when we square something, it's like we miss a step, right? So Pluto is like the planet of transformation, of the underworld, right? All this kind of watery energy, just like you, Pisces. But it can be that we're not seeing, we're suddenly seeing things more clearly than we did before when Pluto is square to the North Node. So kind of taking off like rose-colored glasses, if we're going to say, and just having like clear lenses, okay? So if there's something, again, in that first week or so that feels not as fun or not as clear as you want it to be, it seems like by the second week and on beyond into maybe in the first week of August, things are much more clear here, Pisces, okay? And so that is nice, and it feels good here, okay? Now moving forward into your third week, we have the Magician in the right side up position. Okay, so a little bit of Gemini Sagittarius energy, not their official cards, but this is the ultimate manifestor card, okay? So this is about creating magic within your life around whatever it is you want, okay? And this Magician, he's very confident, right? He has all the tools that he needs on his altar or his table here. So he has all the minor arcana. So he's got the cups, he's got the emotions, He's got the coins, he's got the money, he's got the wands, he's got the good health. What else did I forget? He's got the swords, he's got good mental health, right? All the things that are available to him. So this is like really resourceful energy and confident manifestor energy. So I love to see that, right? Again, your second and third week look really nice here, Pisces. Now when we get to your fourth card, your fourth week, we have that repeating card, so I want to put them together. You've got the Seven of Staves, also known as Seven of Wands, okay? And so the smaller black and white card is past energy, and then the big colored card is future, current, present energies, okay? So when we have a repeating card, it's a really special emphasis from Spirit, from two different decks to really pay attention. So this Seven of Wands energy here, Pisces, is like, I'm going to call out to, again, the ancestors, spirit guides, guardian angels, what have you, or even living people in my life to ask for help in some way. How can I continue to make sure my defenses are low, but they're also not too high? How can I also make sure that I continue to have good health or be, have good health, be physically healthy in the physical body, all those things. And it's a really nice energy here because it's like, perhaps because you have that smaller card in the past here, Pisces, you were really trying to make that happen, or some of the general environment situation, but it quite wasn't time yet. And then after going through these other things, then it's like finally time towards the end of July, beginning of August, okay? And we see this person has, they're sitting down in the temple, they have their hands up, open and ready to receive, and they're kind of, praying to these Egyptian gods, right? But it doesn't, of course, have to be Egyptian or not even God or religion per se, but it's just, being open to that energy to want to receive and to be healthy in general, okay? Now, the other thing I forgot to mention here too, Pisces, before we get to your oracle card, is that when we leave from the first week, the Justice card in the reverse position, to the King of Cups in the right side of position in the second week, if there was something again that wasn't brought to justice, or there wasn't some type of truth revealed or spoken to someone, it's almost like you or they or everybody kind of, I don't know if comes to peace with it is the right phrase, but there's like a healing around it too, with that King of Cups in the right side of position. It's like, even if I don't necessarily agree with the way that things went down, I can kind of see the emotional aspect of it, something like that. Okay. But again, really nice things throughout your whole reading here, Pisces. Now, I don't want to forget, your tarot confirmation card. I said, oh, we're almost at your oracle card, but no, not quite yet. We do have this confirmation card is going to come in here, and it's going to confirm all four cards at the top, all 4 weeks that we kind of just talked about, okay? And so this is a combination of past and future energy, but we have the Nine of Swords in the reverse position, which is what we would call a good reversal, okay? So because it's in that past and present energy, there's always a choice, right? And so it's kind of saying here, Pisces, if we want to continue on this really good energy streak that you have for the second, and third, and fourth week, maybe even into August, we want to make sure that we are not getting mental burnout. We want to make sure that the Nine of Swords is not in the right side of position, which would be mental burnout. We want it to stay the Nine of Swords in the reverse position, okay? So we want mental clarity. We want it to work with not only our physical body and the health in the Seven of Staves, Seven of Wands, but also we want the good mental health too. So I mean, you really have, it seems to be like a theme throughout today for all the readings I've done so far, but a little bit of every element here, right? You've got cups, water, sun, Cancer, Pisces, like you, Scorpio. Scorpio is literally over there. You've got earth energy, so Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. You've got fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Yeah, so we have and the air over here with the swords. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have a little bit of everything, but it still feels like there's something that I'm trying to like get the right words for your reading here. And that could be part of that Nine of Swords in the reverse position. So if there was any type of mental burnout in the past in some way, or overthinking, it's again trying to balance those things out with our spirit, our mind, body connection, like all of those things. But yeah, let's see what the Oracle card has to say, because then maybe it'll help me find that missing piece that still seems so not necessarily mysterious, but yeah, that Justice card in the reverse position, Pisces, it feels I don't know. It's just a lot, right? Remember how I said you had 4 major arcanas throughout your reading? I think that's the most major arcanas in any of the July readings so far. So the more major arcanas you have, the more amount of significant change, okay? So 2 are in the past, 2 are in the present. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's just like a lot of growth, good and bad, has been going on for Pisces, and it just feels deep, I guess. Okay, we'll leave it like in those words for now. But let's see what your oracle card has to say as well. So it's really beautiful. You got the hand of Fatima here. And we see this person with their hand up in the sky, and it looks like almost like an angel is coming down, and they're touching the angel's hand here. Okay. So I'm going to read the little poem real quickly and then just kind of quickly summarize what it means here as far as your reading. But this is Remy or Rumi Oracle deck. He's a 13th to 15th century Persian poet. Okay, and they've taken some of his poetry and put it together with these beautiful cards. I just wanted you to see the angel if you can, if the lighting isn't like super bright. You can see it that way. All right, whatever. Anyway, let's see what the little poem has to say here. Okay. So, Hand of Fatima. I can never leave you, not for a moment, not for an hour. You are in everything I do, you are my everything. My drink is your sweetness, I move to your command. I am surrendered prey in your hands, and you are my consuming lion. My soul and my soul are truly one soul. I swear to our one soul, I long for no one but you. In the garden of your grace, I am only a germinating sprout. The crown of my blooming is the desire to be in your arms. My hand watches over you. It brings you blessings and comfort, protection and grace. Radiant with divinity am I, and you are my child, my beloved, my angel, and my body too. I shall never leave you. Turn your inner eye to me and see the light of my grace in your heart. You cannot be harmed. You cannot be defiled. You can only ever be what you are, me alive, radiant with love. Okay. So you know, Rumi was Persian, and he was a Sufi poet, I believe. Okay, so some similarities, right, with Muslims. But let's see what else here, if it says any description of like Fatima. Or I can just look it up on my phone because I don't think they really do like the history part in this book. Da, da, da. It says, this is kind of interesting. It says, you're giving birth to more than a spirit than you could ever held before. During such times, a divine midwife could be helpful and supportive. This is Fatima, radiant daughter of the great beloved, who reaches from the skies, who reaches up from your body, from deep within the earth, and brings you the gift of protection, grace, and love. Okay, that's beautiful. Fatima holds the wildness of the divine feminine wisdom and the sanctity of life. She has great gifts of ecstatic presence only able to be experienced through the spirit living in the body. She will share this with you if you allow her to guide you. It says, this oracle comes with guidance, giving your body rest and healing is the most beneficial at this time. There are symptoms you are experiencing, anything from fuzzy lightheadedness to tiredness and aches and pains, as well as shifts in body temperature that seem unbalanced. And these are directly related, if not solely, to the interaction of your spiritual essence within your sacred animal body. These will even out under Fatima's grace and protection, like two housemates learning to live together and enhance each other, rather than distract or annoy each other with their quirks and differences. This settling in process will allow all the more easy when you ask for Fatima's help. This oracle advises that you ask for help and protection in any matter, and it will be granted. There is no exceptions to this rule. There is nothing that you have done that has made you unworthy of divine intervention, grace, and love. Not one thing ever. Just ask, trust, and receive. Okay. And then it has like a little meditation here that goes with the card if you feel guided. It says, place one hand on your heart and one on your belly and say the following aloud. Fatima, who loves me unconditionally, bless me with your hand of protection in your radiant grace. May I love my body and live in my divinity in totality. My spirit is my body and my body is my spirit. It says repeat slowly and carefully 3 times, then rest if you feel you need to. I believe Fatima was almost like Mary or something, but that's probably like Mother Mary. That's probably not the right way to say it, but I'll look it up in a moment. But it does kind of, this poem or the explanation here to like touch on stuff we are already otherwise, said. Excuse me, as far as the mind, body, spirit thing, and it literally says my spirit is my body is my spirit. So that could go with that repeating card that you had, the 7 of Wands, 7 of Staves, definitely, asking for good health and a good physical body, but then also asking the spiritual nature side of the 5D side for assistance as well. If not, that also in addition to, the people that are living around in your life right now in the 3D physical world too. But yes, I want to look this Fatima thing up real quickly because it's bothering me. And, it's been a minute since I read about it, and I want to make sure that I say it right. Who is Fatima in Islam? She's probably one of the prophets. Okay, so Fatima was the daughter of the Prophet Muhammad and his first wife, Hijab. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Fatima was also the wife of this other person, I can't pronounce their name. Okay, so I guess, yeah, so even though he was a Sufi poet, right, he was Persian. So a lot of the Islamic culture is going to be in his poetry as well, okay? But I feel like they compared her to Mary. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's ask. Is Fatima like? I said that she was the mother to the children of the prophet of Muhammad. Yeah, Fatima has been compared to Mary, mother of Jesus, especially in Shia Islam. Muhammad is said to have regarded her as the best of women and the dearest person to him. She's also viewed as the ultimate archetype of Muslim women, an example of compassion, generosity. Okay. So I knew I was like kind of in the same thing. But anyway, even if you don't necessarily like those comparisons or those descriptions, it's really, all basically the sayings that all religions or spiritualities, right? Even if they're not religions per se, are trying to strive for the same goal. They just call things different names or have different, names. So anyway, sorry, I went off on a tangent, Pisces, but of course it would happen in the Pisces reading. I have a lot of Pisces in my chart. I can't remember where right now, but there you go, right? Leave it to Pisces reading to get really deep. Okay, so Pisces, that is your reading, and hopefully you got something from it. Always feel free to let me know in the comments down below if you feel guided or comfortable. But we're at about 36 and a half minutes or so. So we're now going to switch over into the Aries reading. All right. And also, I will be posting your photo to Pisces after the live is done. If you feel guided, all you have to do is look in the description box below there and you'll find it. All right. So with that little history note lesson, let's go ahead and see what we have here for Aries for July. Clear the energy of the cards and do another sound bell and some shuffling and clearing, all that good stuff. So let's just let the cards sit a little bit with the crystal here too. Good way to clear the energy from the previous reading. All that good stuff. All right. So we can get a sip of water here. We'll do our sound bell. So the sound vibrations are a great way to clear the energy in the cards as well. But it's also a good way for you guys and for me to tap back into our body, to listen and find a little bit of breathing room and all that good stuff. All right. It's a good way for me to make sure that I'm a clear channel for the spirits to give you the messages and as clearly as possible and all that good stuff. Okay. All right. So this is going to be for Aries. All right. All right. Aries. Let's see what we have coming up for you. Let's start with the big cards and then we'll do these ones over here as well. All right. So, Spirit, guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Aries, the Ram. for July 2023. Messages for Aries. Messages for fire sign Aries around for July 2023. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Spirit, guidance, messages for fire sign Aries. For their highest vibration, good and truth for July 2023. Aries. Spirits, guidance, messages for Aries. 4 cards only, please. Messages for Aries for July. Messages for Aries for July. Messages for Aries. The highest vibration and truth for July. Okay. You know how they want. Well, we'll see. All right. So we're also going to take the top and the bottom here. We'll confirm with Spirit in a little bit how they want each one of those cards exactly. Some of reverse, some of exactly. All right. Spirit, guiding hands. Messages for fire sign Aries for July. Messages for fire sign Aries for July. Spirits, 1 card only, please. What does Aries need to see? Okay. That was quick. And we do the same thing. We're going to take the top and the bottom. And one more up here. Spirit, guide my hands. Love and light. Respect and reverence before, during, and after. Thank you for all your advice, wisdom, and guidance given. Thank you for placing spirits. Messages for fire sign Aries. 1 card only, please. Messages for Aries for July 2023. This one really wants to come out. And that's the same one as last time. Okay. Let's see if they want an additional one or a different one. Could be the same message. We'll see. All right. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Aries. Fire sign Aries for July. Okay, let's see which one they want. Spirits, do you want this whirling goddess oracle card for this Aries July reading? Do you want this whirling goddess card over the hand of Fatima? Do you want the whirling goddess card instead for this Aries July reading? Okay. So they said yes. We're not going to take 2, but if that's the message and you're not watching the live, go back and watch the Pisces one. Okay. Let's see here. So I'm just going to open up the page and leave it for later. Spirits, thank you for listening. Did you want the 2 of Cups in the reverse position to represent the first tarot card for this Aries July reading? And Spirits, did you want the 3 of Swords in the right side up position to represent the second tarot card for this Aries July reading? Okay. And Spirits, did you want the Ace of Spades in the right side up position to represent the 3rd tarot card for this Aries July reading? Thank you. And Spirits, did you want the 10 of Cups in the right side up position to represent the 4th tarot card for this Aries July reading? Thank you. Okay, so they want those like that. And then let's see here. Spirits, do you want the King of Sacred Circles in the reverse position to represent what's on bottom of this Ancestral Path Tarot deck for this Aries July reading? No? Okay. Spirit says you want me to talk about the Four of Cups in the right side up position and the King of Sacred Circles in the right side up position when I talk about the Two of Cups in the reverse position. Yes? Okay, so they want those there. I'll leave that there. Let's confirm these real quickly. Spirit says you want the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse position for presentments on top of this Hermetic Tarot deck for this Aries July reading. Yeah. And Spirit says you want the Two of Pentacles in the reverse position representing from the bottom of this Hermetic Tarot deck for this Aries July reading. No. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if they want to hear here. Feels like it could go both ways. Okay. Spirit says you want me to talk about the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse position and the Two of Pentacles in the right side up position when I talk about the Two of Cups in the reverse position. Yes. Okay. So we'll leave that there, and then let's put this over here. We'll take a photo, and then we'll get started. All right. So what time are we at? Almost 46 minutes or so. Okay. So I'll make a mental note for when I do the timestamps. But let's go ahead and take a picture here quickly. All right. Aries. Let's see what we have here for you. Okay. So for those just tuning in, right? Or for later when they tune in. It's general reading for Aries. Everyone's welcome. Everyone has Aries somewhere in their chart. All right. But let's go ahead and call out your cards and talk about possible key dates for some of these things that may occur here for you, Aries. So we have the Two of Cups in the reverse position. We have the Three of Swords in the right side up position. We have the Ace of Staves in the right side up position. And then we have the Ten of Cups in the right side up position. All right. Aries, let's see here. You have no major arcanas, which isn't necessarily good or bad, right? It can just talk about if there's more significant amount of change, not that things aren't changing, but you just don't have any major showing up here in your reading, okay? Now, as far as your minor arcanas go, it is cups, okay? You have 4 cups cards, so that's obviously going to be our dominant one. So the cups in the tarot talk about our emotions. So some questions, example questions would be, am I emotionally satisfied or fulfilled? What are my emotional priorities, boundaries, all those things for yourself, for another person or multiple people, general environment situation, okay? Just something to keep in the back of your mind here, Aries, all right? But if we were also to pause your reading here right now, if there was something that you wanted to accomplish that is within your control, I would say, or manifest, all those things, that the 3rd and the 4th week, okay, here of July are looking really good, or maybe even possibly into the 1st week of August. So if it's something that you can put off a little bit past the first 2 weeks of July, then I would probably do that, okay? But yeah, let's see what we have here for you. So Aries, let's also talk about those dates I forgot to mention. And I'll say them again, but they're kind of just general, right? You see me before you know, but I have to kind of say it just in case for new people as well, okay? So the first card can be from around July 1st through the 8th. Card can be from around July 9th through the 16th. The 3rd card can be from around July 17th through the 23rd. And the 4th card can be from around July 24th, even maybe in the 1st week or so of August. All right. So Aries, let's see what's going on here. You have, even though you have 4 cups cards, right? Water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You also have 3 Pentacles cards here, and they're all in the past position, Earth sign energy. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay. But yeah, let's see. There is definitely some type of energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge here in that first week of July, perhaps. But this is also some type of imbalance, okay, where perhaps you or another person, multiple people, okay, or even a corporation, two corporations, whatever you want to call it, right? This is shown as a romantic card, but it doesn't have to be. It can be a work partnership. It can be with friends and family, or even talking about self-love. But something is out of balance here, or perhaps one person or one party is giving too much, and maybe the other person isn't giving enough. Okay, it could also be that if it's not that, or in addition to that, it's like not bringing the best out in each other. Okay, so if the Two of Cups card was right side up, it would be highly divinely guided, high vibration love. Again, bringing the best out in each other. So when it's reversed, it's kind of like the opposite of that. So anger, frustrations, fighting perhaps, or just low blows, right? You know how Michelle Obama was like, they go low and we go high. Well, with the Two of Cups in reverse, it's like everybody's going low. They're taking low blows, okay? But it is for a reason. We'll figure out why here and get more into the details. But then don't worry so much, right? Too, because then by the time you get to your third and fourth week, things are looking much better over here. So this is just, again, a slow down energy, wants us to look at something in a different way, or to heal something, or both of those things, right? But yeah, let's see what we have underneath here, Aries. All right, so you have the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse position and the Two of Pentacles in the right side position. And these are past energies that kind of made it possible for this Two of Cups to show up in reverse position. Could be that there was in the past not enough financial backing behind something, someone not feeling super abundant with their money, or someone not feeling valued enough. There could have also been not enough work put into something. So the Eight of Pentacles, normally if it was right side up, it would be this really busy, hardworking energy. I think Capricorn got it in their reading this time, right? So learning a new skill or craft, being really busy. But when it's reversed, it's like not being not busy, but not being hardworking enough, or not putting enough effort into something, perhaps. And again, whatever this was in the past here, Aries, it could have been a catalyst, though, for the Two of Pentacles in the right side up position. So Two of Pentacles is planting seeds, it's juggling priorities, all those things. But it's wanting to eventually become Ten of Pentacles, okay? But it's the beginning point. So because we don't have really a one card in tarot, so it always kind of starts with two, right? As far as in the minor arcana. So it's like this past energy, Aries, somebody or something needing to put more effort in, or needing to feel more financially abundant, or needing to feel more valued in general. So then someone started to say, well, I'm juggling all these different things. How am I going to keep doing that? How am I going to make more abundance if like I'm just barely getting by, perhaps, with the money or the values? Okay. But let's look what's underneath it here too. Okay. So then you have more energy from the past, Aries. We have the Four of Cups in the right side up position, and the King of Sacred Circles in the right side up position. Okay, giving us more info on the Two of Cups reversed. All right, so it could be that in the past, in some way too, that there was something not emotionally satisfying or fulfilling that left you or someone else kind of emotionally bored in some way. And it could be that this is the inheritance card in this deck in the tarot with that King of Sacred Circles or King of Pentacles. So we can talk about inheriting money or inheriting values or passing down values to the younger generation. So perhaps that seemed really boring to someone, or perhaps because they were bored, right? You can go a couple different ways since it's a general reading for multiple people, but because they were bored, then they tapped into their royalty energy, their confidence, their King of Sacred Circles, King of Pentacles energy to pass something down of value, whether it's money or just life lessons or both of those things. I don't know, I'm getting some kind of like weird message in my mind right now, so hold on a second. I kind of feel too, and it doesn't have to be because when we talk about gender, right, all those things, what is gender, that it could be here two areas that somebody was bored or emotionally dissatisfied with some type of masculine energy here with the King of Pentacles. So again, if we're going back to Two Cups reversed, if somebody was bored or emotionally dissatisfied, it's some type of masculine energy. It doesn't have to be a man, right? We all have masculine and feminine inside of us. That could have also been another reason why there was this imbalance where one partner was giving too much, one wasn't giving enough, or they weren't bringing out the best in each other. Okay, can go a couple different ways here. But let's keep going. I don't want to, stay here forever. The good thing though is eventually this does kind of lighten up and the energy, it dissipates all this heaviness and lightens up a lot. Okay, so now Aries, we're going to go from the Two of Cups in reverse, your first card, first week, to now the second card, second week, is the Three of Swords in the right side up position. So you're probably like, if you're familiar with tarot, you're like, this isn't any better. Well, the good thing about it is that it feels more like an ending in some way for some people. It doesn't have to be, but it feels like obviously we know it's going to get better by the third and fourth week. So just keep focusing on that if it like freaks you out too much. Okay. But here we have the Three of Swords in the right side up position. So this is talking about anxiety, worry, overthinking, being mentally exhausted, low vibrational frequencies. It can also talk about heartache, hurt, pain, betrayal, right? This guy's going off to war and his female family members are crying and they're upset. But a lot of times in other decks in the tarot, you would see three swords in the ground. Sometimes the sword is going into a woman's back or even her chest. So it's almost like putting something to rest too in a weird way. Not saying someone's going to die, I would never say that in reading, but it's like if there was this pain, this hurt, this heartache, betrayal, the low vibrational frequencies, the mentally exhausted, like it's going to be over soon. And we can't, everything ebbs and flows. Nothing ever stays, in that same energy. So when this does happen though, even though it's painful here, Aries, it's going to make something so beautiful. Okay. I just would keep focusing again on these last two cards, the third and the fourth week, because you go from Three of Swords in the right side up position to now in your third week, this Ace of Spades in the right side up position, which we said could be from around July 17th through the 23rd or so. But now you have this new beginning. Now you have fresh start energy. Now you have the passion and creativity back. Now you have planting the seeds for the future, fertile energy, okay? You've got the phallic symbol of the Ankh, right? So even if you're not necessarily wanting or can't have a baby or want a baby, it's the metaphor for what maybe is, right? So birthing a new project, a new relationship, whatever, right? But it feels really nice here for you. And so again, you go from this watery air energy to then the third week, now you have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, right? Aries, that's you. And so you could also start to feel more like yourself by that third week of July. You could also, anytime you see aces, right, our innate talents and gifts are going to be strengthened during that time too. So you could be getting a lot more attention than you normally would during that time too, okay? And it feels like more positive attention, right? Not the Two of Cups through Swords energy where you don't bring out the best of each other, but more positive attention, okay? But let's keep going because you just have really good stuff here now, okay? Thank God, right, Aries? All right, so now when we get to your fourth card, fourth week, we have the Ten of Cups on the right side up position. And we said this could be from around July 24th anywhere to the end of July or even the first week or so of August, okay? And so this is the Ten of Pentacles. Remember how in the past, in the first week, you had Two of Pentacles? Well, all that stuff in the past that you wanted to create, right? Now you have, oh, it's not Pentacles, but it's still a 10, so I'm going to go with it. I'm like losing my mind a little bit. But you have the Ten of Cups. So even though it's not Pentacles, it is something emotionally satisfying and fulfilling. A lot of people would say the Ten of Cups is even better than the Ten of Pentacles, right? Because Ten of Pentacles would be more money, wealth, values. This is emotionally happy, emotionally fulfilling. So that's even better. And maybe it includes some of that earth energy too, okay? But now we also have a leveling up. So when you have a 10 following an ace too, Aries, it could be in one area of your life or multiple areas of your life. There's the next stage up, okay? And something is gained or is, what's the way to say it? Yeah, like leveling up in a relationship, having better health, having more money, having whatever it is that you want to manifest in your life. It's like the next step up or level up, okay? So that's really nice to see here for you, Aries. Now I want to see what your confirmation card here is as well, okay? Because this card, it's talking about choices, and it's a past and future energy card. It's your tarot confirmation. It comes in and confirms all four cards, all 4 weeks, all that good stuff, right? It's the Seven of Cups in the right side up position. Okay, so and usually in different decks, you would see, not necessarily in this one, but there's a different item in every cup. Okay, so if you talk about window shopping for options, dark night of the soul energy, okay, but needing to pick a cup and make an emotional choice. So I feel like it's just kind of a nice reminder here, Aries, that before you make that choice, or even after you make that choice, or someone else does, multiple people don't know where I'm in a situation, to make sure it really feels good emotionally, so it doesn't bring out any questioning of did I make the right decision, or did I make did they make the right decision, or emotionally, does this make sense for me or make sense for the other person, etc., etc. Because they call the Seven of Cups in this deck, the Hermetic deck, the Lord of illusionary success. So we don't want it to just be pretend success, right? We want it to actually be success. And so normally also as well, right? The Seven of Cups is following the Ten of Cups. If it went in order, sequential order, right? The 7 would come before the 10. So I think it's just kind of, again, that nice reminder here, Aries, like make sure that you really weigh all of your options before making an emotional decision to make sure it's going to vibe with you, not only let's say you're making a decision on the full moon or something around the full moon, and it's more heightened energy and it's more dramatic. And so it's like maybe take the time to make sure this emotional decision or choice is going to be good with the future you too, if that makes sense, or the future them, or future everybody, whatever it is. Okay. All right, Aries. So it looks really nice here for you. So now let's see what your little oracle card is. I think I've seen this one before, but not for a while. You got the whirling goddess. And it looks like a female figure kind of dancing here in the center with all these different colors. All right. So let's see what the little poem here from our 13th to 15th century, around there, Persian poet has to say, all right, and see if it has any correlation with what we've already talked about as far as the tarot. All right. So the whirling goddess. Lose your head, not a single thread that has a head can go through the eye of the needle. Come, my love, are you dizzy yet? If you can still find your feet, then that is okay with me. But if you can still find your head, then I will take issue. There is a great dance, but it cannot be danced with choreographed steps. No, this great dance demands a response rather than an initiation, a reaction rather than a direction. So let us dissemble and lose our heads to the great music. The rhythm held steady in our beating hearts. Our feet shall be moving whilst our minds, inadequate to the task, take the night off. Okay. So yeah, that's cool. I love this, like the whirling dervish again, like in Islamic traditions and culture here. But let's see what else it says here for you, Aries. It says, when you see this card, you are ready. You see, you are a sweet soul dancer. You are ready to live beyond what you know, to have it not matter if you don't understand how life can work itself out, or how it can be that someone so normal and so ordinary as yourself and I could also be so magnificent, wild, and divine. The need for answers and plans, assurances, explanations is passing out of your world right now. You are not to wait for permission, for explanation, or even for another dance partner, for I am already inviting you onto the great dance floor. You are to let go of any stigma around not knowing. When someone asks you what you are going to do next or how you are going to manage, you are given this divine mandate. With relinquish, repel the truth. I do not know. Know nothing and dance, sweet soul, for all will unveil itself to you in perfect harmony and divine timing. Your heart shall create the steps in response to the music of the spheres, happening now, alive and spontaneous and free. When this oracle shows up, it brings you a special message. If there is an issue, apparently unsolvable or unknowable in your life now, no. Sorry. If there is an issue apparently unsolvable or unknowable in your life now, the divine is handling it. The divine is in the middle of it, working through the knots and unraveling it. Fear not. Do the sacred ritual and give yourself permission to take the night off from worry. Repeat this heavenly prescription daily as needed. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I feel that I do not know thing, I think, goes back to the past part of the Seven of Cups. Remember, I said it's past and future. So the dark night of the soul, window shopping for options, maybe the pressures of society when people ask you, well, what are you going to do now? That kind of thing. I feel like it's saying, to not give a shit what other people think or the way it might sound, or because it's going to be messy and you're still kind of figuring it out as it goes. But yeah, let's see what else. I feel like also the whirling goddess could come right after that Three of Swords energy in the second week too. So even though it's painful, something's ending, it's a good ending. And on the other side, you have all these rainbows and shit, right? Okay, so let's see what the little sacred honoring ritual is. It's a little meditation to get further into the energy of this card if you want. So it says, say the following aloud. I give my heart permission to lead this dance. I give my mind some time off. No more worry or doubt, planning or resisting. Instead, I surrender. Instead, I open. Instead, I allow, I allow, I allow. And all unfolds with perfection, divine timing, and the miracle of grace. With Rumi as my sole witness, so be it. Okay. So that's beautiful. I definitely like, not only in this deck, but lots of different decks and cultures and stuff, is like the power of the words, right? So what we're saying, especially if we're repeating things, repeating words, that can create a certain type of energy and like its own manifestation or intention or spell. So I like when it like repeats stuff or it says, stuff like that. So anyway, dear Aries, that is your reading, and I do hope you got something from this, and always feel free to let me know in the comments down below if you feel guided. Also, I will be posting your photo in a few moments on my Facebook page. So if you want to get that picture of all the cards, all you do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there. But yeah, thank you guys as always for your energy, for your likes, your subscriptions. They're all great free ways to support the channel. So whatever you feel guided to do, I appreciate. And I think that's it for today, but we're almost through all the signs. I will be coming back either tomorrow or Sunday with our last two, which will be Taurus and Gemini. All right, so anyway, you guys are always welcome, but if not, see you guys later. So take care. All right, bye.